Go.
Okay, here we are. We're gonna talk about feet for a minute, and there's a really cool little tool that I've been talking about a little bit called the ShoeCue. It goes into your shoes. It's got a little ridged heel here that gives a nice little neural feedback loop to the head. It's nothing sharp or anything like that, but it does some pretty cool stuff, and I'll get into it in a minute. So with the feet, we want to get people using the feet more. And it's a big problem because we're in shoes all day. So the more that we can be out of shoes, better, okay? But when we do go into shoes, this great little tool is gonna help reinforce that stuff. Okay, so one of the first things we do is, if you've moved on to the desk-bound, the new desk-bound movement, or the Starrett new flow into standing desks, you'll see we've got some standing desks here we've built up, and I've got a few things that I have sitting next to my standing desk. One of these is like a 45-degree angle piece of wood that you can either make or you can buy. They're all over the internet, perform better. I'm sure Rogue has some. At any rate, I keep this right next to my desk all the time. Here's why. I'm always opening up my ankles, okay? Trying to open up the ankles is an important thing because not having dorsiflexion is a big problem, especially for somebody who did a lot of running, a lot of long distance running. You tend to lose that stuff. So I will switch off as long as I'm here doing that, or even standing on the roller. No, you're not gonna fall if your hands are on here, okay? And don't lock out your knees, okay? Keep the knees soft and just walk through the feet from time to time and roll through that stuff, okay? So staying there, and then, hey, if I've gotta go walk around, I slip on the shoes, right? Or put my shoes back on and I've got the ShoeCues in there. I prefer not to wear socks at all because it gives me a quicker response back. And for somebody who actually does think about walking and running all the time and movement in general, I'm constantly looking for things to help change that or morph the feedback that I'm getting to understand more. So in that, I actually feel a lot different when I actually walk with these in. Like I feel when I'm loaded up through my heels and locking out my knees when I'm walking, and you shouldn't actually be locking out those knees when you're walking. That means you're missing stability, okay? So staying in a stable position allows you to keep the knees soft and the joints aren't doing all of that loading, okay? So the soft tissue absorbs more of that load, okay? So we've got a cool little exercise too that you can do when you get home. So when you've done all your walking around, you've done all this stuff, this is something I picked up from Kelly and Yami Takanen a while ago, and I'm gonna have James kind of go through this. What happened to my,
Yeah.
Oh, he's got it. So here's young Durbin. We're gonna have him sit on the ground. Long sit for me. Perfect. Legs out. Bend the knees now. Perfect. I'm going to bound him down here around the ankles, because what tends to happen when we do this exercise, and we'll point it out. So I just wrap, keep that tight. His feet and ankles are touching, okay? Bring that around, boom, loop it in. Now what I'm gonna have him do is he's gonna pull his feet behind him like this, and watch my heels as I come sit back. They start to separate, and they start to pull out, okay? So we're gonna restrict that and open up medially, so there's gonna be a lot of stuff we're gonna see medially, so we're gonna start to feel through that first metatarsal and stuff, and it's gonna work its way up in through here. And it's not a very comfortable position, but this is something we can do at home, or even at the end of the day after we've been walking around in shoes and things like that, or before we even go out and do that. And we're gonna help those feet and those ankles open up a little bit more from the anterior side and in that medial stuff where we just tend to forget about all this stuff, okay? So I would have him sit here for like 90 seconds or so, and then maybe come back for another 30 to 90 seconds, and it's starting to get a little stressful. I can hear him breathing now. He's getting little beads of sweat up top. It's not a very comfortable thing if you've never done this. So then we would have him go ahead and strip that off, and then if you need to go walk around in shoes, slip on his Vans or whatever he's got, and keep the ShoeCue in there and walk around. So it's a great little way to kind of reinforce all this footwork we're doing, is keeping that ball of foot more so loaded than that heel. Okay, and that when we get that heel loaded, we tend to get that joint lock out. So we're locking out those joints, and we're just we're looking around for stability. And you'll see ladies standing around like this, locking out the knees. As we walk through, we're extending and walking through as we walk, and we're trying to pull through versus just keeping that body weight over that foot and allowing ourselves to efficiently walk. Okay, so have fun with that.